G'day punters, just a short intro to this video. Also to let you know that we're back home now, back in the Bundaberg-Bargara region, and just an update on mileage I suppose. 48,009 kilometres. That's right, 48,009 kilometres in our trip. At the moment just doing preps for the camper trailer to flog it off. Sell it to a happy new owner hopefully, probably in the next month or so. Anyhow, enjoy the rest of the vid. Cheers!
G'day you ultimate people. A few questions on the Facebook page I think about what is happening when we say that we're getting our camper serviced. This is an original canvas on 203 and you'll know the Sophia roof's strapped down on each end by Velcro. The Velcro is just about worn out, so I'm going to get that replaced. I had a custom awning made up. It's 2 meters, and if you watch some other videos you'll see it. The right hand toggle doesn't quite line up, so I'm going to get that fixed up on that awning. Got some loose threads like this, just going to get them restitched. A couple of little wear marks in the corners, one there, one the other side. Going to get them patched up nice and neatly. There's a couple of little wear marks also, and you'll know that underneath this canvas there's like a vinyl strip. Little hole there, just gotta get that patched up. These eyelids, there's a fiberglass rod in there that runs through, that wears through the canvas eventually. I think it's on this side. Yeah, it must be this side. Anyhow, it's one of these ends and the eyelids starting to wear through, so I want to get that patched up. A couple of these strap things I want to get replaced. That's still an original. Most of the others I've had replaced. This one over here is an original. Going to get that one replaced. So that's what I mean by a service. Nothing tragic, still in pretty good nick. Yeah, I bought some Raptor, 2 litres, it's tinted. 8H6 is the colour code. That's a Toyota blue. Same original colour as this Land Cruiser. Just giving it a bit of a tub. At the moment I've got some wrap on here. I'm going to take that wrap off. I'm going to put white Raptor on there, only because this Raptor is really hard to keep clean. It's a graphite sort of texture, and you can see all the chips where the Raptor's come off. It's gone back to the gel coat. A little bit underneath as well. See some around here, and just around the back here you can see it's gone down to the original black Raptor that's underneath it. So I'll be giving it a lick of Raptor around the place. At the moment I'll do the whole nose cone drawbar. I'm going to take the DA35 off so I can do that properly. I'll take off the trailer wiring. I'll take off the handbrake. I'll probably even take off the dolly wheel and the ISI bike carrier mount as well, just so I can do it properly. I've also got some body deadener, Sapatone. It's black gooey stuff. I'll do the whole of the under side of the camper as well, because it's taken a bit of a hammering over the last 8 or 9 months. Got about 2 weeks before we're home. In Bendigo at the moment. Apart from the cleanup here, I'm going to service the brakes and bearings while I'm here. New seals in, clean up the bearings unless they're shitty. I'll just clean them up and repack them. I replaced them in brooms, so it's probably about, I don't know, 10 or 15,000 Ks ago, but I haven't had any problems with them. When I get back to Bundaberg, I'll get this ISI mount, all the black stuff, like the rack up here, legs, and there's some support braces as well for the lid. I get them all powder coated black. Going to give the fiberglass a good clean and polish as well. This vent up here, and there's 5 tubes underneath, just in there, behind this deflector plate. They were installed because it had a automatic 3-way fridge. Originally installed it. If you watch some of my videos, you'll know I've got an 80 litre angle in now. Put that in over in Perth, so that's pretty new. I'm going to get rid of those tubes. I'm going to seal them up. That vent up top, I'm going to block it off as well. I've got some new dust plugs for the backing plates on the brakes as well. I'll show you what I mean. That's them there. 2 are missing and 2 are a bit crappy, so I've bought 4 new ones here in Bendigo. I'll replace them. Next video, or next bit of video you'll see is wheels off. We'll have a look at the brakes and the bearings, and then I'll probably bring you back as I'm about to put the hubs back on. So just show you where we're at. Wheels off, up on jack stands, hubs off. I've cleaned inside the hubs, but I'll give it a wash. Some of the brakes, plenty of meat on them. Electric brakes, all good. Clip still on. Spring in behind. This is the right hand side. I'll replace these brake shoes. Oh, it's a broom. Plenty of meat. Clip still in. Spring behind. Still attached. It's going to give them a wash with water now. That caused a little bit of surface rust on the drums. I'm about to head out, that's why the car's running. I'm going to get some new split pins, because I didn't have new split pins. And I'm going to get a little bit of fine emery paper too, just to knock the rust off, because it's going to be surface rust after I wash them with water. Finished cleaning the brakes down. Some new spring washers. And some new seals. So I've dusted it all down now, so what I do is clean the bearings, repack them, grease up the hubs, and insert the inside bearing in the seals, and shove the hubs back on. Hubs are pretty close to getting put back on now. You see I've greased up the stubs. I've already packed the bearings, put the seal on that side. That's the outer bearing. The other side I've still got to put the seal on it. And I've been using this product, wax and grease remover, just to keep the drums nice and clean from grease, because I've got greasy hands. Done. Right hand side done. I rub a little bit of grease up into the seal, just so it isn't running dry when it starts off. And on the stub axle, that's the bearing, or the seal surface around there, and I put a little grease on that too, again so the seal doesn't run dry. Wheels gone back on, bearings adjusted, brakes done. Still in Bendigo, 26th of December. I've given the canvas a really good wash. It's come up pretty good. There's a couple of marks on it. That's from when it was sitting inside the canopy of the Land Cruiser. But I'm pretty happy with it. Got rid of most of the dirt out of it. When we get back home, I'll treat that with some Dynaproof. It's a waterproofing agent. And then I'm going to get the boss to spray it for bugs, and she'll explain a bit more about that. A continuation of preparations for the sale. I've taken the awnings off and the safari roof. I've taken the vent out of here. Would have mentioned, I think, that I'm going to get that filled up. The venting requirements for the Engel 80 litre fridge freezer doesn't require a flow through like the old 3-way. I've already peeled off some of the wrap on here. As mentioned previously, I'll replace that wrap with some white Raptor. I've taken the internal carpets out, the boot carpet out, given them a pressure clean. Taken the spare wheel off, taken the fridge out. There are the awnings and the safari roof there. Not sure if I showed you this. Each of the corners have these patches on it, just to stop some wears coming through. Show you inside.
I've stripped out just about everything out of here. I don't need to. Still a bit dirty in here. I'm going to take it to a fiberglasser to get that little nick that I did when I put the fridge in. There was a little bungee hoop there. I've taken that off. That was for the old 3-way fridge. I'll get that fixed up. What else am I going to get fixed up? I've got 2 holes here which go right through. That's where the fire extinguisher used to mount. I'm going to get them fixed up. A little bit of a chip in the gel coat there. Going to get that fixed up. I've got a couple of little wear marks here. I think they'll just buff out. A couple of little chips on this side here. Get that fixed up, and same on the other side as well. Not too long after I bought it, I learned that if it's really light on the front and you don't have these support legs down, you step on the back, it drops down. How about that, eh? If you watch some of my videos, at one stage I replaced a couple of blind nuts in the bumper bar. I'm going to replace them all. I'm going to replace all the bolts again too. Show you that a little bit later on, eh? Apart from taking the hitch off so I can do the Raptor a little bit later, I've now taken the canvas off. And I've taken off all the parts I'm going to send in to get powder coated. Braces, that's the rack that goes under here. Spare tyre carrier, bracing legs, ISI bike rack mount. So I'm going to fold them back up now. I'm going to take them into Leisure Build here at Bundaberg, and they're going to do some fiberglass work for me. I'll get them to repair that too, just a bit of gel coat. Part of the package is going to include these stone stompers. I'm not going to get them painted. Not the original mud flaps. I replaced them in Broome on our recent trip. This is the canvas. It's inside out. I've given it a really good scrub and wash and rinse. It's come up pretty good. Yep, the ultimate's back from the fiberglasses. That vent's now gone. And fixed up a few other little chips up, which I shown you already. Inside here, if you watched my angle replacement video, you'll notice that we'll know I've nicked the gel coat there with the angle grinder. That's fixed up. There was also a bungee loop just up in there for the automatic 3-way, which hooked on across the door to keep it locked, but the angles are positively locked, so we don't need that. So that's been fixed up. This door also had a few holes for fire extinguisher and some other stuff. Yeah, they've been plugged up, and that's a bungee loop for the steps. On this side there were 2 holes there, so I've pulled the bungee loop off that and they've patched that up as well. And I'll put the bungee loop back on. Yeah, I've got the bumper bar off. If you watch my video at Appliance removing and replacing the bumper bar, I talk about replacing the bolts and stuff. Well, I've now got some stainless bolts and they're fully threaded, and I've got some new T-nuts, which are like the blind nuts that I talk about in that video. Give you a look at these things, and I'm going to replace all of them in here except for the 2 that I already did. So I already had to cut off 4 bolts to get the bumper bar off here, and that's the reason why, because I knew that those T-bolts or T-nuts, blind nuts, were on their way out, so I don't want to pass on a problem to somebody else. So I'm going to fix them all up, put stainless ones in, sort that all out. Also a good opportunity for me at this stage to give the fiberglass a bit of a buff and do the Raptor. And you might remember I had a little nick in here from my wheelie bin. That's been patched up as well. In that Anna Plains video I also replaced the bolts in here with I'll show you what they were. I think I've got one here somewhere. There it is there. These type bolts, well, the originals that come off it are like cup bolts, and I think I've got them up here. These ones. So I've actually gone back to the original style head, and they're about 10mm longer. That's what I needed. only because of these stainless steel brackets that I've had put on just to strengthen the stairs up, or the stair mounting anyhow. So job from here, I'm going to replace the T-nuts in there, give that a really good clean first. I'm going to push this over into the grass, and I'm going to give the whole underside and out the back a really good pressure clean. I'm going there and grease the shackles or the bushes for the swing arms. And once I've done that, I've got some underbody sound deadener sort of stuff. It's a goopy black tarry stuff. And I'm going to black out the whole bottom, and that's, I've done that probably twice before already, so that'll be done this time as well. So it'll be like pristine underneath. Probably not something you can do with any camper trailer other than an alternate. Flip it up like that. Now I've just got that piece of wood in there just to hold it up, stop it from falling back over. But yeah, the ball weight's probably 60-80 kilos, depending on how loaded it is. It's empty at the moment, of course, no water or anything, but certainly makes it easier for cleaning. Cleaned the bumper bar, gave the underside a really good pressure clean. So give that a day to dry, and clean the bumper bar, and I'll get into it tomorrow. In case you're not familiar or new to Ultimates, there's two bushes across these swing arms both sides. I think it's about a 13mm nut. Knock them off, knock the caps off. Behind there is a grease nipple. So that's what I'm going to grease up before I start undercoating it. I've had the original drawbar and it's extended 300mm. It's around about here. That's where the original one ended, back to there. Now the reason I've done that is because I've got an ISI bike rack that bolts up to here, bikes up. So travelling around or doing turns with the original drawbar, I was clipping the bikes on the back, so I had to extend it by 300mm just to give us clearance between the Ultimate, or back of the vehicle, and the bikes. I mentioned earlier that I was going to undercoat the bottom of the camper with a sound deadener. That's what I'm using, Sepatone body deadener. It's also corrosion protection as well as a noise deadener. It's a bit tarry, as I mentioned. It'll probably take me 3 brushes to get through to do that complete underneath. So I'm going to look into that today. Well, the boss has been busy polishing. But see the difference. Polished, unpolished. And same over this side. Polished, unpolished. Polished, unpolished. Been playing with Raptor this morning, Raptor coating. Put a bit of a base coat on the nose cone. You can probably see I haven't taken that handle off, but I've taken it off the other side. It's original. Got to take these handles off as well. Those off. Finish off the base coat. Finished underneath. Raptor sound deadener. Raptor right up through the wheel arch. New tyres. So 2 new tyres, 285 75R16 Land Cruiser stud pattern. So yeah, as I say, 2 new tyres on it, and the spare wheel is I'll show you the spare wheel. This one over here. Still probably got, I don't know, 5,000 Ks or so on it, and the boss is still hand polishing. New rear reflectors, both sides, and today I've got new wheel nuts all around for both wheels and for the spare as well, and there's 3 studs on that. I'll show you. The wheel nuts, I should say. Just starting to tape up, getting ready to do the blue Raptor. Thought I'd just show you the difference. That's polished, that part of the roof. This side isn't. So you see there's quite a bit of difference. Been cleaning inside the boot too. It's all done. I'll show you the other side. Yes, this is all done too, but not this part. can see there's still a bit dirty there, so it's quite clean. Well, it's bloody clean. It's the other side that's not done yet. All the lockers have been done. All nice and clean. Now I've taken all the rubbers out. Give them a good clean. I'll probably replace a couple as well. Probably replace the one around the door. And the right hand side boot lid. Blind nuts as I call them, or T-nuts is what they're technically called, I think. Come in from the rear, as I've mentioned previously. So on the back of the fiberglass there. Mentioned had to cut a few bolts off to get the bumper bar off. So we'll just have, I'll show you what the deal is with that. I'll just get this, see if I get this bolt out. Right, that's the bolt out. And see, this nut is seized onto the bolt, and undoing it just turns round and round and round. These oldest type T-nuts have a slanted sort of gripping bit, I suppose. So what I'm going to do is replace them. I've got stainless T-nuts. I've got new stainless bolts. These are the old bolts in case I need to actually stick them in and push the original T-nuts back out. Well, two I replaced last year at Underplanes were that one and that one, the T-nuts. I've now ripped out the other one, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I'm going to do. And if you do watch Underplanes videos, I go through about pulling the bumper bar off and putting it back on, and how I did the T-nuts as well. Because I just lined that up in the back, so it's lined up with the hole. Just see it a bit there. I use this small bolt and I screw it up and just pull the T-nut into the back, and I'll do that with the rest of them. Well, that's all the 9 new T-nuts put in. So I mentioned stainless steel bolts. One thing I mentioned in the Underplanes video was to make sure you could actually screw those all the way down and back up to make sure the threads are nice and loose. So I've done that, so it should go on okay. The other thing I've done is I've masked this up now. Hopefully we'll get into some Raptor tomorrow once I finish taping up. Still got to do the stairs, and I've started this side. I'll take this wrap off now. That's my next job. Yeah, I've got the wrap off finally, and I've actually pulled the boot lid doors off as well, just so I can tape them up and so I can paint them tomorrow. Getting the steps ready, the bumper bar, a little bit more taping, finish that off tomorrow morning. I should get the blue Raptor on tomorrow. 9 kilo gas bottle and a 2 kilo gas bottle. 2 kilo gas bottle is not quite full. 9 kilo one full to the brim. Chocolate block filled up just yesterday, 9th of February. Raptor going down. U-pol, 2-part epoxy. It's looking good. Where are we up to today? Bumper bar back on, stairs back on. Put some of the hardware back on the nose cones. Paint job's looking sweet. Boss is in there doing an internal clean. The bed a good clean as well. I'll show you while we're here. Got the eggshell underlay. Got this EMP mattress underneath as well. What it also has is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There it is there, this sort of stuff. That's Dynamite. So it's a not only a noise attenuation sheeting, but it's also thermal insulation as well. This gas strut comes out at about 1600 Newton meters. I've had it pumped up to 1800. Being an older Ultimate, the lid on these are a bit heavier than the modern things, so it just gives it a little bit of assistance lifting it up and down. Oh, I've got this back roof rack on, haven't put the front one on yet either. I'll get there. Oh, the boss has been at this all day. You can see the difference, clean and a bit worn. Fantastic job. The little 80 litre Engel upright fridge freezer's in now. Haven't got all the trays in yet. I've kept them out nice and clean. Self-locking. If you haven't watched my video that I did over in Perth when I installed this fridge, replacing the old Dometic 3-way fridge, there's a 10 amp fuse located in here. So I've got this back in now, and the backing I've stuck some foam seal on it all the way around. On the Dometics they have mastic in there because there's a vent up the top there, and there's 5 vents down here which I've blocked off, and obviously the vent up there is gone. That vent now is in this backing, just to give the fridge more venting. Now as far as venting is concerned, it's got its own fan, so I'll be able to draw and push air out into the boot here, through over the top of the fridge and underneath the fridge as well, so there should be more than adequate venting for the little fridge. And that's the fridge with the backing cover back on, and the new vent. While the camper's in this position, I'll talk to you briefly about storage. This is where the lounge goes, around behind me, and there's 4 storage lockers all the way around. A bit of water plumbing in here. Obviously got the drawers, and if you are really keen and already know your Ultimates, you'll know there's a bit of storage in underneath these shelves, or these drawers as well. And what we usually store in there is stuff that we don't use very often, like if we're going around up north or out west or something like that. We might put jackets and stuff in there, or as we did on our last trip out to Western Australia, we stuck our wetsuits and jackets in under there. So that's the internal storage. There is another storage sort of packet which clips onto here, which I might show you a little bit later. External storage, right rear, already mentioned this, porta potty. It's a chemical toilet. We've never used it. I think the people we bought it off many years ago never used it. Usually store up here spare parts for the Ultimate as well. I'll cover that off in a separate part of this video. Gas locker, don't usually stick too much in there if anything, and 2 storage cupboards around this side as well. Yeah, whatever you want in there I suppose, and the battery compartment. Now I usually stick a couple of extra short extension leads up in there as well, because sometimes I'll run power from the inverter up into the cab to charge battery, like laptop and stuff, if I need to do that. So that's the storage apart from the boot, which you already know about, fairly large. Cover off an electrical now, 12-pin plug, it's a standard sort of setup. There's plenty of information on the Ultimate forum, Facebook page and forum about that. Anderson plug, I think it's about 60 amp or something like that, which powers the Red Arc Manager 30. I've done a video on that as well. I had an S2, now this is an S3 which charges lithium, 1500 watt inverter, 2 60 amp fuses there, one in and one out, one in from the car, one out, so the battery's charging. The display for the Red Arc, there's a book on this, so I'm not going to go any further on that. Dimmer light for the internal light here, it's amber and white light. 2 lithium batteries, they're both about 122 amp hours each. The Red Arc shunts in there, there's a little power board in here as well, a few fuses. There's also a battery isolator up the back right hand side, so that'll isolate the batteries when you're in storage or something like that. 12 12 volt power supply if you want to run fridges externally, which I do quite frequently. There's an app that comes with these batteries, or you download from, was it Play Store or the Android equivalent. Where else is there? Fuses. Couple of fuses up here. There's a 12 volt power outlet there, like cigarette lighter adapter. 2 over this side. Inside I've put a little placard on there for the switches. Gully light. There's a light that runs off this dimmer up to our plug up here. Show you. That's it there. And that's the light. It's got a couple of magnets on it, which sticks on that bow up here. And that also white and amber. 12 volt power accessory there. Boot light. I've already shown you the boot light inside, but you need to turn the switch on. Outside floodlight, that's the one up here. And the water pump. Water pump and the galley light's the one we use most. Water tank indicator. It does work, but I don't really rely on it that much. Other power outlets, 3 12 volt cigarette lighter plugs up there. On the bed head, these have got the new style bed lamps on them. In the bottom of that fitting there's a USB plug, so you can charge up like your phones and iPads and stuff from there as well at night. I've shown you the locker with the 2 gas bowls. There's a 9 kilo bottle in there which is completely full, and a little, I think it's 2 kilo one, not completely full. The only that runs off gas is this gas cooker 2 burner. I haven't got the top in at the moment, or the rack on top. They're being cleaned. It's also got a grill. I think the more modern Ultimates just have electric cooktops now, so it'll come with a gas certificate, so it's certified. The drawers in here are the old style. I think this is a 2001 Odyssey, so it's, you know, it's one of the originals, number 203. Has these like O-rings which help stop the drawers sliding up. They're locked anyhow. I mean, take a bit to come out. This top one used to have all the electrical stuff in it, which is why I moved it all down there, give me more storage. But you can lock this as well, and there's a key that comes with this. This little pole here, I think it was originally designed so that 2 people could help lift the bed over the top. So it extends and one person pushes up and the other one pulls over on the bow. We haven't really had to use that with the extra gas and the strut, but it's there anyhow. Water pump, that's it there. It's a little shore flow or flow jet one. Makes a little bit of noise, but I think they all do. Lockable water filler, that's the new style one. I did have well, the original one was a lot smaller than that, and I needed to replace a bung that went in it, and they couldn't sell me one, so they sold me the new filler, so I've installed that. So it's lockable, and there's a venting point there. There's also an external tap, still got some masking tape on it there as well if you need some external water. The pickup point for that is not the dead bottom of the tank, it sits above the tank, so when that runs out, assuming the camper's level, there'll still be water in the tank. I've got a solar input here. I haven't yet put that back on. I've got a cap for that, or cover for it, that I've got from TJM. They're a lot better than these plastic ones, because a lot of dirt and crap gets into the back of the Anderson plug and still fills it up full of dust anyhow. So I'm going to put the one I've got from TJM on there, and hopefully that'll provide better protection from the weather for that Anderson plug. Compliance plate, you can see it was made in Batemans Bay, New South Wales. You can see the VIN number there, 6T9021R I think. And 203, I'll show you where the 203 is. Might pick it up just 203 203. Just treated the canvas rooftop. Easier to do it here than when it's back on the camper, because we can reach it easy.
Just a roller and a paintbrush. Dynaproof. Let that dry now. Pretty good. We'll do the rest of it when it's back on the camper, the sides and the ends.